Go.
So here we have the conductivity meter. It has a battery, it has two indicator lights right here, and it has its on-off switch right here. So first what I'm going to do is something a little bit outside of the directions, which is to test the dry substances by themselves. So I'm going to turn my conductivity meter on, and now I'm going to start testing substances. So I'm going to test something that you can probably guess what this conductivity will be. This is the aluminum foil. So I'm going to stick the conductivity meter on, and you can see that it lights up both of the red and the green lights. So that tells us the conductivity meter is working. Put that aside. Next, I'm going to test gold. Okay, so we test the gold. We can see also that gold conducts. Okay, not unexpected. Now I'm going to test candle wax. So I put it on the candle wax. Does not seem to conduct. Okay. Next, I'm going to test the quartz. Okay, put it on the quartz. Nothing's conducting. Next, I'm going to test graphite. This is a really thick pencil lead. So I'm getting something maybe happening. I'm seeing some amount of light passing through, or some indicator light coming on. Okay. Now I'm going to test my dry substances. So I have salt in this corner up here. So I'm going to stick it into the salt. I'm not getting any lights turning on. Next, I'm going to test the magnesium chloride. Same thing, not getting anything coming through. And next, I'm going to test the sugar dry. And again, nothing came through. All right, so now we're going to test whether or not substances dissolve in water. First, I'm going to run through the substances here. This is candle wax. Candle wax does not dissolve in water. Aluminum foil, you've probably had experience with, does not dissolve in water. Neither does gold. It wouldn't be very good for our jewelry. Quartz, this kind of rock, crystal, does not dissolve in water. And neither does pencil lead, which if you have a pencil at home, you could try that yourself. All right, so now we're going to test these white substances, which are salt, sugar, and the magnesium chloride. So I'm going to add water to each of them. So I'm going to add water to the salt, some more water, add it to the sugar, get some more water, and add it to the magnesium chloride. And then I'm going to stir each of them with this toothpick, its own toothpick. Stir it up. Okay, I'm going to stir the salt. And then I'm going to stir the sugar. Okay, so for each of those, you will see that the white crystals have, in some sense, disappeared, not completely. I can stir a little bit more. So these things are dissolving in the water. So you can figure out now which spot in the table each of these substances belong.
Go.
All right, so what we need to do is figure out whether or not the substances that dissolved would conduct electricity or not. So we're going to use the conductivity meter just on the substances that dissolved, which are these three. Again, it's the salt, the sugar, and the magnesium chloride. So my conductivity meter is on. So I'm going to stick it in the magnesium chloride, and you can see that the lights light up. And I'm going to rinse it off using some distilled water and wipe it off. Now I'm going to stick it in the salt. And again, you can see that the lights light up. So rinse it off and wipe it off. And now we're going to test it in the sugar. And so you can see you get a little bit of a light, but it's a very weak one. You may not be able to see it, but it's a very weak, and just the red light is lighting up. All right. So now that we've tested the substances for whether they would conduct when they were dry, whether they would dissolve, and then whether they would conduct when they were dissolved, you can now fill out the table that's on page 165 in your book. We are not going to be showing the testing for hardness and melting point. Instead, you are going to see a table that gives you a description for each of those.